but I kind of think the Lakers are gassed. I actually do think the Lakers are going to win tonight. I think LeBron has too much pride. I think he puts up a fight. And remember, before Game 3, the Lakers were undefeated in the playoffs on their home court. So it's not like that they've been bad throughout the playoffs and been squeaking by their opponents. They've been very good when playing at crypto.com arena, wherever they play. Lakers are good at the crypto, but I do think the Nuggets are going to this series. I think maybe the Lakers put on some sort of display tonight of, hey, we're not going to go down easy. You're going to have to fight to eliminate us, unlike the Celtics, who are laying down for dead. The Celtics honestly should show up for Game 4 against the Heat, and they should just quit. They should withdraw. They should shake the Heat's hands and say, it's been a good run. We're ready for the offseason. We've got a tea time later on this afternoon since we're here in South Beach anyway. So we're just going to play some golf. You guys enjoy yourselves. As for the Lakers, I think they have more pride than that. And again, they are a team that has shown fight. At least they haven't quit. So LeBron will not let them quit. I think the Lakers, and the Lakers are getting the money tonight. So I think the Lakers are the play. I don't want to play this game because you asked me earlier in the show, and I think it's a good question. Could we see a blowout tonight? I say yes. We're not going to see a Lakers blowout, but we could see a Nuggets blowout. We could see a situation where LeBron goes for 35 and doesn't quit, but nobody else shows up, and the Nuggets pants the Lakers. I don't think it's going to happen, but if we're going to see a blowout, it's going to be Denver with the one dropping the hammer.
Oh, for sure. And I think if this situation was different and if we had the Lakers getting points here, maybe I would be interested in the Lakers because they have been good at covering. And some of these games have been pretty close. Like look at the first game, 132 to 126. They did cover the 7 because they were 7-point dogs. The other game only lost by 5 and were 5.5-point dogs. But in this game, they are laying points. So they need to win this game outright and also win by at least 4 points, which makes me nervous, especially when you feel like the Nuggets are a team that's not lacking in motivation. This does not feel like a team that's going to lay back and say, well, we'll give them a game. No, the Nuggets have been disrespected by every corner of the media, the sports books, the general public. The MVP market with Jokic not winning the MVP feels a little disrespectful. That's a different conversation, but still does not feel like a team that is complacent in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Jenks, who is your Monday MVP?
My guy, Michael Block. Come on, man. You got to give it to him. What you saw yesterday was something that we have not seen in 4 decades. And yes, I get it. There's some bigger names on this list. And you say Brooks Koepka won the PGA. How can you go against Brooks Koepka? Because Brooks Koepka is going to win another major. He is a 5-time major winner. Let me ask a very simple question. What do you think the possibility is that we will hear from Michael Block again? Probably slim and none. He'll be a storyline at next year's PGA Championship, and rightfully so. But he had his moment. Brooks Koepka is going to have more moments. And when you consider the odds, like Michael Block was not on the board, not even listed anywhere to compete in anything. He was just lucky to be here. Brooks Koepka was considered by many golf experts, said he could win this thing because he's playing such great golf, almost won the Masters. But Michael Block doing what he did, this was the people's guy yesterday. He was the people's golfer. And Chelsa, I think you said it. Maybe he gave hope to, or he did give hope to every person out there who was a pretty good golfer. And you think, maybe I could just have 1 round or 4 rounds where I compete with the best in the world. And not only did he do that, his performance will go down. Even Jim Nantz said on the telecast on 18, one of the best up and downs ever in major championship history. He's not exaggerating. When you consider his history, the type of golfer he is, who he's competing with, and the pressure in that moment. We see some of the greatest athletes on the planet fold under this kind of pressure. And he delivered. You got to give it to Michael Block.
Yeah, it's going to be a Block party. Give it to Michael Block, MVP of the weekend for me. Yes, I was rooting for drama, and Brooks Koepka delivered in that sense. But this is the moment of a lifetime for Michael Block. What he did, and also it was bigger than just him. He was winning one for all of the tour pros out there who are looking at him and saying, hey, if he can do it, Like, that could have been me. Probably not, because he also had the tournament of a lifetime, because it wasn't just like a great story. It was great golf as well. The up and down that you mentioned, Jenks, and also the hole-in-one, that might be one of the best shots I've ever seen. A nothing but net hole-in-one in golf. It was incredible to watch and to see the emotion on his face after the tournament when they were reading to him the text that like his son was sending him. He said, "This is the best moment of my life. There is no going up from here. It's all downhill from here." So Michael Block had the moment of a lifetime. We've got to give him MVP of the weekend. Colts owner Jim Irsay tweeted out a list of his top 5 greatest NFL players of all time. And his top 5 goes as this: Jim Brown, number 1, Tom Brady, number 2, John Elway, number 3, Deacon Jones at 4, and Reggie White at 5. And I think this is probably a solid list, but as the Colts owner, one would think that a guy by the name of Peyton Manning would be included in this list. If nothing else, just for PR, because it's your own team. Jenks, did you find this odd?
Yeah, it's crazy. And also, John Elway refused to play for the Colts. Back in 1981, they picked him number 1 overall. He refused. He was like, I'm not going to that franchise. So you went with a guy who turned you down, who turned you away, as opposed to the guy who is the best player in your arguably one of the greatest players in your franchise's history. And I absolutely think Peyton Manning was a better quarterback than John Elway, and John Elway was superb, no question about it. But I don't know what Jim Irsay is thinking here. From a PR perspective, it's bad PR, and just from a metrics perspective, I think he's off base. I respect Jim Irsay in that he is very outspoken and says what he thinks, so you always know where he stands. But I also think there's times where he's a bit of a loose cannon, and you're like, all right, what is this guy doing? I think this is one of those times.
Yeah, do you think Jim Irsay was poring over the metrics and saying, well, I need to see his stats on this and that and this? No, he probably just tweeted this spur of the moment just based on the thoughts that are at the top of his head. Like, don't you feel like there was not a lot of research that went into this? That's why I don't take too much away from it.
I don't think he was pouring over the metrics. I think he was probably pouring a drink or two, and he's like, what the hell? Elway at 3.
That's what we all were thinking.
Let's go Deacon Jones. Although Deacon Jones is no joke. Like, Deacon Jones is an inspired choice. There's no question about that. I know he's an old school guy. And you're like, who's Deacon Jones? Deacon Jones is one hell of a football player. So I don't fault that. Reggie White, one of the GOATs. So I don't mind this list. There's nothing about this list that bothers me outside of the fact that Peyton Manning isn't there. I don't get it. I don't know what Jim Irsay is thinking. I really don't.